Hello, everyone. One of the essays that you might be asked to write on your OST in April is a thematic essay. A theme is a lesson learned from reading a text or story. Two possible ways that theme can be developed is through character growth or impacts of conflicts on the character. There are many other ways to develop theme, but these are two ways that are pretty accessible for anybody reading a text. Last year's 8th grade Ohio State test had students tracking a theme over two different stories. This is doable, but it is also hard work. When you start your reading, the first thing that we want you to do is to skip through all of the questions to read the writing prompt before you read the passages. Do this with any type of reading that you do, but if you do this before your literary analysis writing, this will help you read with a finer eye to finding theme or finding character development. When you are looking at the prompts mostly look the same. For a thematic essay or a literary analysis, it will say to construct a multi-paragraph written response in which you analyze the development of a similar theme in both passages. It might also say something like analyze the development of character or analyze how setting impacts the characters. These are all different ways of literary analysis writing. Remember that your directions will also tell you to include an introduction, to use evidence from the passages to support your explanation, to avoid overly relying on one passage, and to include a conclusion. When you write a literary analysis essay, there are a lot of things that your brain's going to have to do. The first thing that we want you to think about is to read the text with an eye to theme or character development. The second thing is that we want you to take notes to help you to do two different things. The first thing is that you want to make sense of your reading. The second thing is that we want you to identify theme and pre-write for your essay. Once you are looking at your pre-writing, you want to compare notes from both texts to find commonalities. If they're asking you to analyze theme, look for common themes between both stories. If they're asking you to analyze character development, look for common character traits. Then you need to find text evidence from both texts to support your chosen thesis. If you remember from the prompt, it said to not overly rely on one of the passages. So you do have to read both and use both of the passages fairly equally. And lastly, you want to organize your evidence for your best possible essay. A T-chart would be a great place to help you out. When we analyze theme or character development, we want to think about how a character behaves in the beginning of the story, in the middle of the story, and how they change at the end of the story. Here is an example. If a character from passage 1 is jealous in the beginning because they can't make friends easily, is lonely toward the middle because they won't let any friends into their life, but then becomes hopeful when they meet a new friend for lunch, those are ways the character has changed. In passage 2, if we have a character that is scared in the beginning because they're in a new school, but then becomes angry and yells at their mom and dad for making the move, but eventually becomes hopeful because they joined a new school activity and joined a team and felt part of a group, then we can see that both of these characters become hopeful at the end of their story. And because of this character trait of hopefulness, we can then create a theme or think of a possible thesis around character development. Also on this T-chart, you'll see that I have in blue different paragraphs where all of this information came from. That way I know exactly where I can go back to find my evidence. Lastly, another way that you could use pre-writing to help you is through a web. On our web, we have in blue our possible theme. We have to be open to new possibilities. In green, we have our paragraph ideas, a lack of friends, scared of being hurt, and eventually opening themselves up to new ideas and new people. And then in purple, we have those character traits or ideas from the text that would be evidence to help support each of those ideas to support our claim. Pre-writing for this type of essay will be your best friend and will help you write your best essay. Just a quick reminder, literary analysis writing is asking you to do a lot of thinking work over the course of 2 or more texts. And in order for you to do your best work, you should know that pre-writing will help you better read and think more clearly about what you want to write. With strong pre-writing, you will definitely be able to say, I've got this.